Alrighty then, chat. Very good afternoon. Hope we're all doing well today. Welcome to the stream. Welcome indeed. Welcome indeed. Alrighty, so today we're back in the Fenix A320. Very excited to be back in the Fenix, I have to say. Definitely my favourite aircraft in the sim at the moment. Well, has been for a while really, hasn't it? But yeah, very excited to be back in the Fenix today. We're going to be flying some real-world Edelweiss ops as requested by our own Aviator04, who I see is here in the chat. Welcome, Aviator04. Yeah, this is a community requested route. We were originally going to do it on Sunday, but because of the release of Pyrig East Midlands, that did not happen. So here we are today, rearranged as promised, and really looking forward to this, actually. So the routing is going to be from Zurich to Newquay. This is, I think it's quite a unique route, actually. There's not a ton of airliner operations into Newquay. It's a very small airport in the UK, in the southwest of the UK. And it should be good. I'm really looking forward to this. I've never flown Edelweiss before in the sim. Really gotta love their very, very bold, colourful livery. I do really like it. And on top of that, I don't think we've ever flown into Newquay before on the stream. I know I have done it a few times offline, but not on stream and not for a very long time. So very much looking forward to it. Like I say, we're going to be in the Fenix A320. And yeah, not too much else to say, really. We've got the FSDreamTeam scenery for Zurich, which is very, very nice. And freeware scenery for Newquay, which is also actually, it's nice scenery. It's good. It's well detailed, etc. Doesn't have a lot of custom modeling and things like that, but it does have the resemblance of the airport enough to be usable. So yeah, looking forward to that. One other thing I've changed since our last stream, actually, is, I don't know if you guys are aware, but there's a GSX sound overhaul mod on flightsim.to. I've actually got that installed today, and we're going to give that a go. It overhauls a lot of the voices that you hear in the UK, a lot more regional accents in the UK as well as in the US. And it does change some of the vehicle sounds as well, slightly. Which is quite nice, but it is only UK and US voices at the moment, though. That being said, they are planning to expand it to the rest of the world. I think they're aiming to do that by November, it said on the page. So yeah, looking forward to that. I think the voices are a little bit more natural sounding, at least from what I've heard so far. I did give it a quick whirl earlier on. So yeah, looking forward to having a go with that and seeing what that's like. But yeah, that is that. Let's see, who have we got in the chat then? Craig, I don't know if you're still here, but no worries at all, my dude. Hope you enjoy the event, and yeah, hope the reinstall of the PC goes smoothly. Always a very daunting task, I find. So yeah, hope it all goes well for you, my dude. And yeah, have a good time, and I'll catch you hopefully on Friday. MPS, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. You're on your way to Marrakesh. From Gatwick in a 737-900. Very nice, my friend. Is that in the sim, or are you on the Wi-Fi or on a plane? On a real plane? But yeah, sounds very good, my friend. Very good. I don't think I've ever flown into Marrakesh before, so enjoy. Aviator 04, of course, welcome. Looking forward to the stream. Good. Glad to hear it. FaZe, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Daz, welcome. Good to see you. Welcome indeed. The commentator, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Jack, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again. Roy, good afternoon to you, Mr. Edelweiss and chats. Welcome, Roy. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Liana's here as well. Welcome indeed. Watching London Controller controlling East Midlands. It's busy. Crikey. Yeah, I bet it is with him controlling. Yeah, crikey. Well, good stuff. Good stuff. Well, enjoy. Tom, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing very well. Good day to you as also. We've got another Jack. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Volunteered my Yorkshire accent for that, but they told me to bugger off. Oh, no way. Come on now. Oh, well. What reason did they give? They already got us someone Yorkshire. Benji, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again. Hope you're enjoying your East Midlands scenery that you won in the last stream. Soren, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Welcome. MPS is in his own aircraft. Oh, okay. Got you. Very nice. Very nice, MPS. What's the weather like in Gothenburg today? Right. Well, just before we get going, quick shout out to our Gold and Platinum members. We've got Sasha, Daniel, Benji, Leon, Biggles, Street Racer, 777, Soren, Roy, the commentator, Andy Ivy, Notty, and Schutz. Thank you guys for your continued support. Much appreciated, my friends. And obviously a big shout out to the silver members as well. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being a channel member. Yeah, do really appreciate all of your support there. Good. Right. What's the GSX mod called? Oh. Cannot remember the name. I'll probably be able to... I think I'll probably be able to find it for you relatively quickly. Bear with me. I think it's just called GSX. It's Squawk's GSX Voice Overhaul. That's the one. Yeah, thank you, AG. There's a link to it. I don't know why Chrome does this. Sometimes it just doesn't copy the HTTP. There we go. That's a proper link. Yeah. Give that a try. Make sure you back up the sound folder as directed in the README before you do it. Because it does change some of the original files. It's not a community package jobby, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm not sure how it will fare as well through GSX updates. I don't know if you're gonna need to reinstall it each time. So we'll see how we get on with that. But it installed relatively stress-free and quite easy for me. So yeah, we're gonna have a look at that today. Anyway, we don't have any ATC here at the moment at Zurich, but we've got ATC on in the UK, so hopefully we'll catch that on the arrival. Yeah, it looks like the weather's cleared up a bit here. It was actually raining when I first logged into the sim, so love to see it. Righto. Okay then, so just before we they don't want posh accents. What the... Come on now, do they even know what Yorkshire accent is? Altiger, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Welcome indeed. Did a nice walk in the virtual VR at East Midlands. Oh, amazing. Yeah, I bet that's so cool in VR, actually. Yeah, very nice, Roy. Very, very nice. Right, okay. Well, here we are at Zurich. Anyway, you can see we've got our aircraft here, sat on the ramp. Looking very, very nice in the Edelweiss colours. Yeah. Really, really love this this paint scheme, I have to say. It's unique, isn't it? It's not to my taste as such, but I just like it because it's unique. And it looks nice. We've got a livery by Aterium Liveries, which you guys are probably well used to at this point. Very, very fantastic livery creator, and they've done the whole interior as well. So let's go inside and have a look then. So we'll jump on board, and we're supposed to be in this seat right here. So here we are on board. As you can see, absolutely gone to town on the interiors here. You've got the safety cards and all the different graphics and things like that. You've got the seat colours. Love the blue seats, I have to say. Very, very nice. Yeah, very, very good as ever with Aterium Liveries. So yeah, big props to him for doing their fantastic livery work. Okay, so as we normally do, let's jump over to the OFP and we'll do our briefing before we get underway for the flight here. So over to the fuzz pad and looking at the OFP. So today we're going to be Edelweiss 306. This is forgot to mention, this is a real-world Edelweiss flight, and they do fly it just during summer, according to Aviator 04, who's requested this. So it is, like I said, it is quite a unique route, and not something that you would perhaps see every day all around a year. So pretty cool. Real-world flight. We're using the real-world stands as well. So yeah, I checked that on Flight Radar 24 before we started here. So very, very nice indeed. So it's Edelweiss 306. We're going from Zurich to Newquay. The registration is Hotel Bravo Juliet November. Cost index is 12. Now, that is one thing I did forget to look up, actually. So let me just actually double check, see if I can find that. So we've got the cost index database here. I don't know if it actually has Edelweiss on there. It does not. Okay. That's fine. Unless anyone knows the cost index for Edelweiss, in the chat for the A320s. Unless someone knows, we'll just leave it at 12. Because 12 is about right, really, for an A320 for this kind of route. But nevertheless, we'll continue with the briefing, and if someone jumps in, then we'll look at that. The call sign is going to be Edelweiss 306. Target off blocks is 1600 Zulu, so in 45 minutes, and estimated on blocks 1806 Zulu. We're covering 594 miles over the ground, and we're expecting a slight headwind for today. A pretty decent headwind, actually, on average, 46 knots. Takeoff weight is going to be 65.6 tons, so fairly weighty. And alternate is going to be Heathrow. Cruising at flight level 360, trip time 1 hour and 38. If we need to divert from Newquay to London Heathrow, it's 43 minutes. Block fuel is 7,395 kilograms. And I don't think we need to take any extra today. I doubt there'll be a lot of traffic going into Newquay. We're expecting 28 here at Zurich on the Vebit for Whiskey departure, and then runway 30 into Newquay. No arrival there. It'll probably be a case of doing vectors to final. What we could also do as well here real quick, we'll just check what runway is in use here at Zurich, because many runways here, so let's just make sure we've got in the right one. This guy just taken off. They have. That is runway 32. Okay. All right, that's fine. We'll amend to 32 then. No issues. I'm just going to do that here in Navigraph real quick, just so I don't forget. We'll have to use a slightly different departure, which will be the Bebit for November. So that'll be fine. Okay, good. So, coming further down, full on passengers 162 and 1.5 tons of cargo is expected, and the weather is looking pretty good. No MX Sigmets, tropical cyclone Sigmets, or volcanic ash Sigmets. We've got fairly light winds here at Zurich, some CBs in the vicinity, but nothing else really to look at here. Looking fairly good. The weather at Newquay also looking pretty fine, really. We do have a bit of wind from the northwest, but other than that, nothing too crazy. Similar story at Heathrow as well. So weather looking pretty good for the flight today. And looking at the charts, initially off to the southwest, and then following that up all the way across France, and then over the channel to Newquay. Significant weather charts are showing some occasional embedded CBs below flight level 100 up to flight level 380 here in our departure sector. And that is about it, really. So that's the OFP brief done. Let's crack on, shall we? Sunny Stanley, welcome to the chat. Inbound to the new EGNX, busy over London. Yeah, it does look very busy over London at the moment. Yeah, I think that's probably London controllers doing. Only flies on Sundays and is a new route that was introduced last year. Very good. Yeah, thank you very much for the insight there, Avio204. I can see the cost index on the SimBrief flight plan, but obviously that chooses the cost index for you. You know, I'm not sure what algorithm it uses, but it may not necessarily be the accurate cost index for the airline. Pretty sure it's 15, says Tom. Okay, fine. Well, we'll stick with 12 then, because that's what the flight plan's calculated at. I mean, we'll use 15. It's not going to be much of a difference, is it? Lair, welcome to the chat. Yes, I do know what the cost index actually is, but I was just wondering the exact cost index that Edelweiss use. Copper, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. Roy says, who in the chat and Bobby is also excited about the Beyond ATC app. I mean, I'm definitely intrigued on it personally, but I wouldn't say I'm super excited because, as you guys know, I tend to mostly use VATSIM for ATC. I very rarely use offline ATC. But yeah, I mean, it does look like a very, very good solution, I think, and certainly be very interesting to use, I think, for a lot of people out there, for sure. Aviator 4 says, looking at my wires, I can see clear sky, so it shouldn't be a problem. Good. Lovely stuff. Are you in Zurich or Newquay, Aviator? Beluga, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. We were in Newquay a week ago. Very nice, my friend. I've not been to Newquay ever, I don't think. It was a long, long time since I was in that area of the country. And yeah, very nice part of the UK, but not in a place that I go to too often. You can see you've got the Edelweiss catering trolleys here and all that jazz. Very, very nicely done by... very nicely done by Ethereum liveries here. SimBrief also changes the cost index according to your departing and arrival time. Yeah. I mean, I very much... I don't tend to use auto cost index on SimBrief. I usually tend to use a fixed cost index based on my the airline that I'm flying. So... yeah, I suppose it leaves it up to the pilot to vary the cost index as required. Alrighty, guys, let's crack on with the setup then. So, we'll bring the music down and let's jump into our seats here. We'll make sure it's pulled forwards and in the correct position. Lovely. Okay, all looking good there. Fantastic. It's very quiet here at Zurich at the moment. We are on VATSIM. All right, good. So we're on board. The captain, the pilot monitoring for today, has already done a bit of the setup, run through some of the tests and whatnot, as they normally do. So we just need to jump in here, really, and get the pilot flying duties completed. So let's jump first to the MCDU. The nav database is... active, and the active nav database is current, so that's all good. We'll go to init request, and we'll bring in our flight plan. Already done the init through here, so that's fine. Flight number, we're going to be EDW 306, and we're going to use cost index 15, as the chat seems to the general consensus seems to be 15 for Edelweiss, which yeah, again, it does sound about right, doesn't it? Cruising at flight level 360, and temperature here on the ground 17 degrees. That's all good. We'll bring in the climb wind as well. So that's all done. Good stuff. Then we'll come to our flight plan. We'll go for a departure on runway 32 as per the real in-use runway, and the Vebit 4 Whiskey departure. Sorry, Vebit 4 November. We're using a different runway, aren't we? So we'll insert that. Let's just make sure I've got my restrictions in correctly here. So we've got 1810 and then a right turn at 3,500, 210 knots, Brago 5,000 or above, 6,000 or above, and 7,000 or above out to Vebit. Okay, that all looks good there. Fantastic. So we'll come in here, we'll go fix info, and we'll go LSZH 32. And for the engine out SID, I imagine it's probably not straight ahead here because of the terrain. So let's just double check what we got. Right, so we've got 3 DME from the Cloten VOR, so we don't actually need the runway fix in there. We'll just change that to KLO, which is Cloten. We'll put a 3-mile ring around it. Right turn proceed on the radial 335, so we'll put that in as well. And then at the 6 DME from the Cloten, so we'll go KLO and we'll put in another ring of 6. Right turn to Zulu Uniform Echo and hold. So that's the engine out SID there. Zulu Uniform Echo and hold. Good. We'll set up our arrival once we're up in the air, but we'll go ahead and just check things real quick. So we've got our engine out SID there. Straight ahead to 3 miles, sorry, on the Cloten. Then following the radial 335 out at 6 miles. Then it's a right turn to Zulu Uniform Echo, which is over here. And then we would hold at Zulu Uniform Echo if we needed to. So for the departure looks like it's all in correctly. That all looks fine to me. And en route, all looking good there as well. Fantastic. And the flight plan ends at Skeso. Good. Right. So RadNav page, the departure is RNAV, so we're not going to tune anything here. We'll go to the secondary and copy. Sorry, we won't copy the active. We'll just delete that. We'll go init. We'll go LSZH. LSZH. And we'll stick that in there, and in case of an engine failure, we'll set up for a return to the field onto, I think probably maybe runway 28 would be better than 34. No, okay, 34 is a bit longer, isn't it? So we'll go for that one. That's fine. Good. So that's all done. Hang on. Yeah, 3-4 will be perfect. Good. Okay, so we'll come to our init B. I'm getting ahead of myself here. We need to get the refueling here and the catering. And we might as well request the boarding as well whilst we're here. We're running quite ahead of schedule here, but let's crack on.
Passenger's bus is coming.
Wait till the refueler comes to click that button. That's fine. So we don't have a load sheet yet, so let's do that one as well. I'm clicking all over the place here. It should have just stayed on here. So that's fine. There's our load sheets. 58.4 and 31.3. And expected fuel is going to be 7. We'll round it. We won't round it up. We'll go 7.3. So that's that. And then contingency is going to be 0.2. That's set. Alternate time is alternate is going to be 1.7, and then final one. That's all good. No extra. All as expected. Fantastic. Lovely stuff. And then for the departure performance, we'll come over here and let's go runway 32. It's dry. We're going to go packs on. We'll sync the preliminary and sync the weather and calculate. So 4952, 2 down 0.2 and 66. 149, 149, 152, flaps 2 down 0.2 and 66. That's good. We've got NADP 1 departure procedures here at Zurich. So we'll change the acceleration altitude to 4,500. And the engine out acceleration altitude should be 3,000, which is already set anyway. So that's fine. No issues. Good. Okie dokes. Lovely stuff. Perfect. So that's all set. And the transition altitude, I'll just cross-check. 7,000 is correct. That's all good. Lovely stuff. Fantastic. Alrighty, so initial climb. We've got no ATC online, so the initial climb will take straight up the charts. 5,000 feet is the initial climb. That's all good. Refueler is here and connected, so we'll jump back over here and we'll go ahead and load. So you can probably hear now the new sounds for the catering. It's a little bit more of a high-pitched sound where, with the trolley wheels that sound basically. Everything else is the same, but the trolley wheels is slightly different if you listen. You can hear that there. That's a subtle change. There are some sounds that are a bit more obvious, but that's a very subtle one. Lovely stuff. Right. Passengers coming on board. Lovely stuff. Alrighty. Looks like we've got another pilot over there in a 737 700 potentially. Let's see, what are they supposed to be? JML. That's a historic airline, isn't it? Hence why there's no livery showing. Fuel's going in. All looking good there. Fantastic stuff. Passengers are boarding. Grand. Okie dokies. Roy says, I love the interaction and reaction of the ATC voice. So nicely done. AI I believe they use for the interaction, isn't it? I'm not sure, to be honest. Potentially, yeah. Potentially. Beyond ATC uses speech recognition like Pilot to ATC does, and it's not the best with Windows, especially if you add the accent like me, Swedish English. Yeah, MPS, it does, doesn't it? It does use the speech recognition. Pilot to ATC is not that great, but when I watched the video actually for the Beyond ATC, it did look a lot better, to be honest with you. The recognition looked a lot better at recognizing accents, I have to say. So I wonder if they're using a slightly different tech. I wonder if there's a slightly different branch of the Windows speech recognition that they're using now. I'm not sure. Soren, which gate am I at? That is a good question. We're at gate Delta 07. There goes a refueler. Okie dokie, so we'll get the seatbelt signs on now. And we'll get the fuel pumps on as well. Lovely jubbly. We're going to be away well early here, chat, by the looks of things. Lovely stuff. Okay, so... Right, we might as well do a departure briefing whilst we wait then. Grey shirt, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Madeira Woman Spotter, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. From Madeira, very nice, my friend. Very, very nice. Welcome to the chat. Welcome indeed. I would love to go to Madeira myself. Never used a seat like that. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's one of those little features that is a bit hidden away, but it's there. It's very nice. Good sounds as well for it. Right, let's do the briefing then, shall we? So, over to the fuzz pad. So, we're currently here on the ground at Zurich, Switzerland. This is 10-9. Airport elevation is 1,417 feet. And we're currently down here at the south of the apron here. We're at Delta 07, which is this stand right here. Looks like there should be a blast fence here as well. I didn't notice that in the scenery. So, for the departure, we can expect Pushback facing to the northwest. We'll taxi on down. Sorry. We're departing runway 32. So, we'll push back pacing to the northwest. Taxi on up Mike, then follow that up Foxtrot. We've got number 3 there regarding wingspan, that's fine. So follow up Mike and Foxtrot. Following that up, we'll follow Foxtrot up, take a right onto Inner, and then follow Inner all the way around to Kilo. We'll cross runway, this runway here, 28. We'll cross runway 28 at Kilo, all the way across to Hotel 3, and then take off runway 32. So from 32, we're going to be departing on the Vebit for November. This is the 10-3 Juliet 8 chart. Transition altitude 7,000, which we have cross-checked in the MCDU. That's all looking good. ATC instructions are sort of a moot point here because we don't have any ATC online in the area at the moment, as you can see. So we'll forego those and look at the departure. The departure is an RNAV departure from runway 32 for route continuation after Vebit, reverse chart 10-3 X-ray 1, which we'll look at in just a moment. Let me pin that. So we'll initially depart runway heading straight ahead 327 track. And then take a slight right bearing to Zulu Hotel 580, which is a flyover fix. We do need to fly over that point. And in fact, we've got... Yeah, so the 3,500 restriction minimum there is for 4-engine aircraft only. So we'll disregard the restriction there. But it was actually coded in anyway, so it's in there. Now it's a left turn to Zulu Hotel 577, max 210 knots up to that point. And then another left turn out to Brago, minimum altitude 5,000, then a right turn out to Zulu Hotel 554, minimum altitude 6,000 there. Then continuing out to 558, minimum altitude 7,000 there, and then out to Vebit. So that's it. No upper really constraints. We've just got the initial climb clearance down here of 5,000 feet. And then we do have this transition after Vebit. So this is the 10-3 X-ray 1 chart for RNAV equipment compulsory for flights at or above flight level 100 for departures with destination south of Zurich. So that's not actually applicable for us, is it? So we'll actually ignore that one. So that's fine. Just out to Vebit and then en route. So that is all good. It's going to take us out to the west there. Lovely stuff. Right. Okay. So that is the departure briefing more or less complete. The weather is good here. We've already looked at that here at Zurich. And very low amount of traffic. We're very familiar with Zurich as well. We've flown here many times. So I can't really see too many threats to be aware of today. So we'll just crack on and enjoy. Right. Soren, thank you very much for renewing your membership for 3 months for your platinum membership. Much appreciated, my friend. You're on Delta 06. Oh, lovely stuff. So you should be right next to us, right? Oh, there he is. Lovely. In the Scandinavian Airlines colours in the A320. Very, very nice indeed, my friend. Love to see it. Love to see it. Fantastic. I think the passengers are all boarded now by the looks of things. We're just waiting for the baggage. Alrighty. Let's get the APU fired up. Maybe it's improved in Windows 11 compared to Windows 10. Yeah, potentially. I've not used it in Windows 11. I used it in Windows 10 before. Mike, hey up. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Alrighty. Dad says they should be doing a new YouTube video for Beyond ATC in Europe soon, so it'll be interesting to hear the different voices. Oh, indeed, yeah, that'd be very, very interesting to see. Yeah, definitely. Mike, thank you so much for becoming a gold member on the channel. Much appreciated, my friends. Thank you very much. Enjoy your custom emotes and channel badge. Welcome to gold. Thank you very much for your membership and your support. Much appreciated. Very generous, Mike. Thank you. All right. So APU is available. We'll start the chrono here. Madeira Woman Slaughter says, come Madeira, you'll love landing here in Madeira Airport. Yes. Yeah, I mean, we've flown in there in the simulator a few times, and I love that. I would love to do it in real life. Absolutely. That'd be so cool. It would be nice if Beyond ATC could be used when using VATSIM when there's no ATC coverage, but unfortunately that's not possible. I mean, I suppose it could be possible. I mean, it's not really going to tie in with, you know, Unicom and things like that, but I suppose you could use it for direction, I suppose, and realistic instructions. That being said, I don't know necessarily how Beyond ATC is going to work out the active runway, because Microsoft Flight Simulator, if it takes the information from the sim, the sim's ATC gets the active runway wrong quite often, so that might be an issue. Oh, they actually said it's not possible. That's interesting. I mean, I don't really see if there's anything actually stopping you from doing it, but yeah, interesting. Mike, glad you're enjoying the content, my friends. Glad you're enjoying it. Thank you so much. Oh, look at those crisp shadows out there. Oof. Oof. Right. Well, we're all set, aren't we, chat? We're all set. APU's available. It's warming up nicely. We can go ahead and turn the external power off now. We'll get the ground crew to disconnect the GPU and get rid of the chocks. All the doors are closed. Slides are armed. Good. These MCDs are as bright as they go. I don't recall them being that dim before, but maybe that's just me because we've not flown this for a week or so. Right, well, we'll call the pushback tug driver, get them to come over. We'll request pushback. This is where you see the biggest differences with the Squawks ATC, the GSX Voices overhaul. Now, I don't think they've done anything with European voices just yet, but there is a new tug sound as well. So there is that.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Madeira Woman Spotter, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. Much appreciated. Welcome. Welcome indeed.
Departure check completed. Bypass being inserted.
We've moved off the center line there. Why is that? I've definitely got the wind ambience turned off. The movement of it. I don't know what it is that moves us slightly off the center line. It's something in FS Realistic, I'm sure, but I just can't quite work out what it is. Edelweiss livery is so cool. Yeah, it is, isn't it? I really enjoy it. Has to be said. Where's the tug at? Where's it coming from? Oh, there it is. This GSX profile must have it parked way off in the distance. Of course, this is an official GSX profile by FSDreamTeam, with this being their airport. What is it going to do? Hey, Soren, dude. You're so generous, my friend. Thank you so much for the 200 krona super chats. There's those new sounds you can hear coming in. Thank you so much, Soren. That's super, super generous of you. You're flying to Trondheim. Very nice, my friend. Very nice. A safe flight to you also, my friend. I hope you enjoy the flight to Trondheim.
Looking clear.
Multijet 100, clear runway.
What's the Edelweiss song, Grey Shirt?
Then Hotel 2 for runway 32.
Right, APU's nice and warmed up now. We can get the APU bleed on. Get the beacon light on. And I should probably do some checklists before we actually push. So. Oh, look at that. There's no pushbacks on this stand. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll do that in a moment. So, cockpit preparation checklist. Gear pins and covers removed. Fuel quantity is 7.38 tons. Seatbelt signs are on. DIRs are in nav. Bar F is set to 1008 on both sides. Let's just actually check the METAR real quick. That is correct. Good. Okay, so before start checklist, parking brake is set. Takeoff speeds and thrust 49495. Windows are indeed closed. We'll close the cockpit door as well. And the beacon light is on before start checklist completes. Righto. So let's make sure no one else is pushing us around us. And let's do it. So, Zurich traffic. Edelweiss 306, stand Delta 05 is pushing back. Facing to the northwest for runway 32. Zurich traffic. Alrighty, let's do this thing. We'll do a quick edit pushback. And we'll go like this. That should do it, I think. Now we could even add a little fix here, straight behind. Don't know where the extra lines come from there, but nevertheless.
Zurich traffic, Multijet 100, currently lining up runway 32, departing Febit for November departure.
There we go.
Release parking brakes.
Parking brake released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
There's that new tug sound. It's very bassy, isn't it? Alrighty, let's go for an engine start then on... We'll go for a single engine start because it's a fairly long taxi.
Traffic Scandinavian 1129, now we are ready for pushback and start up on Delta 09.
Engine mode selected to ignition starts and engine 1 starts. Oh, look, the arrow from GSX stayed there. I'm on Delta 07. Oh, I am. Sorry, yeah. My mistake. My mistake. Thank you very much, Klaus. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Why can't a taxi straight forwards?
Parking brake.
Like a brake
Cockpit
sets.
to ground. We have a good engine. Start. You can disconnect.
Right, engine 1 is avail. So we'll just finish the after start flows. I'll catch up with your messages on the taxi out. So yellow electric pump can come on.
100 clear runway 32 climbing 5,000.
Engine blade take to 2 normal. Arm the ground spoilers and set the flaps to 2 for departure. Love the flappage. Ecam status, we'll check that. That is normal and expected. Flight controls check will delay until we have started the second engine, and we'll select max auto brake. Everything else is correct there. We'll leave the APU running to facilitate the second engine start in a moment, and we'll do the after start checklist. Anti-ice not required. Ecam status checked. Pitch trim we can set.
Clear. Right is clear.
29.4. So pitch trim is set 29.4, and the rudder trim is a neutral. After start check is complete, we'll just wait for the tug to move out of the way, and then we can get out of the way of Soren and taxi on down. There's a pin. Good. Okay, so taxi lights on. Release the parking brake. Let's get underway. Getting a bit gloomy here at Zurich. Okie dokies. So what else can we do? Get radar and predictive wind shear on. Zurich traffic, Edelweiss 306, taxi to runway 32 via Mike, Foxtrot, inner kilo. Zurich traffic. No, I've not heard it. No, I've not heard it. No, my grey shirt. No, I have to look it up. Marshall crashed into the aircraft. Yeah, I'm not sure what the deal with the tug is on this profile. Very strange positioning, I feel.
There's traffic, Swiss 359 at 10.
Roy, regarding the aircraft that Soren showed in, it probably showed in IAE engines because obviously that model is from JustFlight. It's from the FS traffic package. We're on VATSIM, so that's not showing necessarily the aircraft that he's specifically flying. And I believe SAS uses IAE engines for most of their CEO A320s. So that's probably why it shows as IAEs. But if I had to make a guess, Soren's probably in the Phoenix. Right. Farstal music. Sorry, I didn't see a message earlier on. That's a self-maneuvering stand. That's fine. Reason I was pushing back there is because I wanted to kind of share with you guys the sound overhaul for GSX. So I pushed back on purpose there just to demonstrate that and just to have a listen to it. I mean, it's completely dead here at Zurich at the moment, so I don't suppose it would have made really that much difference. And I suppose that answers your question as well, Aviator 04, regarding taxiing straight forwards. Although I have to say, looking at the charts here at Zurich, it does appear like there is a blast fence right in front of the stand where we were parked. So I would be surprised if that was a self-maneuvering stand. If that blast fence is actually there, it'd be very, very difficult not to hit that. Amazing Maze, welcome to the chat. Good evening. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Right, so here we go. Coming up to Kilo. Sorry, no, Kilo's a bit further on, isn't it? So we'll carry on. Let's start the second engine now, though. So we'll go engine mode selector to ignition starts. APU bleed is still on, and we'll go for an engine 2 start here. Engine 2 thrust lever is idle. Interesting, we're actually pulling to the left now. Here's Kilo. See if there's any traffic on arrival. It doesn't appear like there is. Zurich traffic, Edelweiss 306, crossing runway 28 via Kilo, Zurich traffic.
Zurich traffic, Swiss 359 at Delta, we are final to it, stop.
Sure, we're holding short, runway 28 at Kilo, Edelweiss 306, Zurich.
Thank you.
I could not see that guy. Oh, there he is. They really need to make the lights a little bit more visible in this sim, I feel, for other aircraft. That being said, this guy made 0 calls on Unicom at all. Nothing on text either, so... Turn the taxi lights off while we stood still here. Engine 2 is now available, so we'll go ahead and get the yellow electric pump off, the APU bleed off, and the APU master. Zurich traffic, Edelweiss 306, crossing 28 at Kilo, Zurich. Right, so we'll do the flight controls check. Now we've got both engines started, so full left, full right, and neutral, full up, full down, and neutral on the rudders. Oh, that's why we're pulling to the left, because my rudder pedals were stuck to the left. So rudder is checked as well. Flight controls check is complete. Taxi checklist. Flight controls are checked. Flap setting config 2. Radar predictive wind shear on an auto. Engine mode selector normal. ECAM memo. Takeoff no blue. Taxi checklist complete. Good, we'll get the TCAS to TARA as we approach the departure runway and the transponder on. So takeoff runway 32 is confirmed. TCAS, TARA, packs 1 and 2 are on. Lineup check is complete. Zurich traffic, Edelweiss 306 lining up runway 32 via Hotel 3.
Traffic, Swiss 359 Delta, runway vacated.
Oh, there is no blast fence. Interesting. Interesting. I wonder why that... Whoa, big bump. I wonder why it shows there on the charts. Got compliance on the load sheet, so I don't need to adjust anything there. That's all good. Good, good, good. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Looking forward to a flight in the Fenix chat for the first time in what feels like forever. Alrighty, all the checks are done. Forgot to turn the hex lights back on, didn't I? We'll get the landing lights on as we're cleared now, and the strobe lights. That's all good. Right, lovely stuff. Fuzz Toga's in the chat, channel members. Let's spool them up. Engines are stable. Let's get out of here. Take off. Manflex 66 SRS runway auto thrust blue. Sorry, no runway. I'm so used to saying it. Flex set airspeed is live. 100 knots. V1 rotate. Nav, positive rates. Gear up. A little bit bumpy here. Coming up to 580, which is our flyover fix. Lever climb, thrust climb, auto thrust. NADP 1 departures here, so we're not going to clean up just yet. Disarm the ground spoilers, however. And we won't bring the cabin crew just yet, because we've got quite a long left turn coming up here. Can get the nose lights off though, and give ourselves a higher cleared altitude. Thrust climb, climb. We're above the F speed. Let's go flaps to 1. Oof, wet. Let's bring the cabin crew now. This is a very sedate turn. Oh, very up and down here, a bit bumpy. Set standard. So flight level 120 blue, alt blue, standard is set. Should start to see a bit more acceleration now. We'll come out the bank. And another left turn here. A little bit of rain. We'll get the anti-ice on as we're below 10. Still just manually flying it here. Really, really nice handling with the Fenix. Alrighty. Lovely stuff. AP2. S-speed. Speed is checked. Flaps to 0. Moist. That was a lovely departure, chat, I have to say. Very, very nice indeed. Straight into this cloud, though, unfortunately. Okie dokie. Oh, okay. That was short-lived. Lovely stuff. Anna, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Welcome indeed. Alrighty, flight level 100. Landing lights can come off now. Seatbelt signs can come off as well. Leave the anti-ice on for now, as we've still got a bit of moisture here and we're below 10 degrees. Look at the red nose out there. Love it. Very, very nice. Good stuff. Right, we'll come into here then. We'll come to our fix info. We'll clear this stuff out as we're not going to do an engine out SID at this stage. It's all good. Lovely stuff. Let's keep going up. Clear ourselves up to our cruising altitude of flight level 360. Oh, temperature's rocketed up there to 12 degrees. Tobias, welcome to the chat. Just in time to make it for the takeoff. Love to see it, mate. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Lovely views here. Love to see the clouds rushing past the passengers' windows. Alrighty. Good, good, good. Aviator 4 says, did I hear about the plane crash earlier today in Rhodes? I did not, actually. No. No, crikey. No, I did not know about that. That's... doesn't sound too good. They hit a tree. Oh, God. Yeah, that's awful. There's a firefighter plane. Right, right. Crikey. I assume by the sound of things it's a tragic accident with fatalities, I guess. That's sad. But welcome, Biggles. Welcome indeed. Hope you're doing well. Mike says, I might get a better frame rate with my Phoenix now graphics card is sorted. Yeah, potentially. Yeah. Yeah, you'll have to give it a try, my friends. Oh, yeah, look at those crisp shadows there. Oh, you got to love it if you bump up that shadow setting in the config file. It gives you super nice crisp shadows, I have to say. Abbo, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. How does Newsky look from an airline owner perspective? In terms of what is it specifically? Is there anything that you're specifically wondering about? I myself am a little bit of a noob, I suppose. Oh, the sim's frozen. Oh, we're good. Okay. Yeah. What would you like to know about that? I am, like I say, I'm a bit of a noob when it comes to VA platforms. Newsky's the only one I've ever really used, so I couldn't really give you a comparison between other platforms if that's what you're looking for. But yeah, what is it that you're looking to know about that? Is it how it actually physically looks if I log in as an owner, or what? MPS says she oh, sorry, Roy said Mother Nature is not happy at all. Yeah, no, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on at the moment with the weather, isn't there? Yeah, I suppose it's a sign of the times that we're in, unfortunately. But hopefully we can all play our part to try and ease the strain on our planet's resources. George, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Landing into Stansted from Bologna. Very nice. Last flight of the day. Very good. Very good, George. How's it gone today? How many flights have you done today, even? In Dead Valley. Is that Death Valley? Reached a temperature of 57 degrees Celsius. Crikey, yeah, that's very hot, isn't it? Yeah, Death Valley, hottest place on the planet, isn't it? How are your routings done? Is there any kind of logic and are routes added proportionally with the airline money earnings? Yeah, so initially, Abba, my routings were all sort of based on our community, on sort of requests made by the community in terms of where, well, it wasn't really requests. I sort of asked the community, you know, where is your local airport, and we'll basically make some routes between all the local airports from all of the, you know, community members. So that's what we did initially. And so I suppose in that respect, there was not really that much logic to that. It was literally just throw in all the routings and you know, try and make it work. And as it happened, that didn't really work too well. It basically ended up with the airline losing probably about $50,000 a day. Just purely because of the amount of routes. There was too many for people to fly and still make a profit. So what I've done now is I've stripped back as many routes as possible, whilst leaving some of the more popular routes and leaving some of the more, I suppose, easy to fly routes, which I think is a little bit more attractive for people. And I kept in the scheduled the daily routes as well, because one thing I was finding is a lot of times a pilot would fly an aircraft out to a destination on a scheduled route, and then they wouldn't do the return leg, which basically meant that the aircraft is then in a different location, and then maybe the next day that aircraft is needed on a different route and it's not there, and then it can't be moved back because there's no scheduled route that day. So what I ended up doing was basically making most of the routes shorter and having them on a more daily basis, but having less routes. Because on Newsky, there's always the option for free flights, which are the majority of the flights that people like to fly by the looks of things, from what I've gathered from, looking at the data. And that's the majority of the flights that I do as well, to be honest, free flights. And you do earn a little bit less money with the free flights, but you still do earn money. But the advantage of that is that, the aircraft doesn't get stuck in one position. The aircraft's not losing money on, all the associated airport fees. So, yeah, now I've got quite a condensed scheduled routes. And after making those changes, we are just about breaking even. We're still not making a lot of money, to be honest with you, on the airline. So I may end up reducing that further, but yeah, we're actually making a positive balance most days now, as opposed to before where we were consistently making a negative balance. So yeah, that is roughly how I kind of configured things in terms of the routings, etc. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, I suppose the hope is that in the future, you know, when we get more regular pilots and more pilots, we already have quite a big airline, but you know, it's just a frequency of flights that people are doing, which is absolutely fine. I mean, there's no pressure. The whole idea of Fuzz Air was that there's no pressure to have any minimum commitment to the airline. At the end of the day, it's just a bit of fun, and I don't really pay too much attention to the figures. But it would be nice, you know, just to mess around with it, because that's kind of another level, isn't it, of, you know, fun, really. So, yeah, maybe when we hit a capacity where we can make more money, we'll add more routes. But at the moment, I think the general consensus is that most people prefer to do free flights. So there's no point in the airline wasting you know, money on various different slots and airport fees when, you know, then those routes might not get flown as regular as they need to be profitable. So yeah, that's where we're at with Fuzz Air regarding the earning side of things. Aviator 04 says, with Europe having one of their hottest summers, UK are having their coldest. Yeah, I agree. I mean, we had a couple of weeks that was super hot, but didn't we? But now it's gone very cold, hasn't it? Kluku, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Welcome. As long as there's money involved, it will not happen anytime soon, unfortunately, regarding the environment. Yeah, I mean, that seems to be the way it's going, doesn't it, Roy? Unfortunately, but we can always, you know, individually we can try our best. That's my policy anyway. MPS says, in Sweden we have very cold weather. I don't remember exactly last time it was so cold summer and raining here. Maybe since around 1990. Really? Crikey. Yeah, that sounds very cold. I mean, it's quite cold here in the UK for summer, but I wouldn't say it's super abnormal because it is the UK. But yeah, that sounds quite strange. What kind of temperatures are you looking at, MPS? George said had had a bad approach into Bologna, did an accidental direct and then turned into a hold 32 knot crosswind. 249 landing, hopefully agrees her into Stansted. Hey, that doesn't sound too bad. I mean, you know, we all make mistakes. 249 is not a bad landing at all, I wouldn't say. June is really hot, but unlike last year, July is so much colder. Yeah, it is, isn't it, Aviator 04? Yeah. Whereabouts did you say you were from, Aviator? Are you down in Newquay, did you say? Abba says, okay, that makes sense. I fly for your company, but I was hoping to get more routes. Now it makes more sense to me. I personally like scheduled ones because to add more realism to it. Yeah, I fully agree with that. Abba. And I would love to add more routes and things like that. And it is really good. But again, I think with money aside, if I forget about the money side of things, what I found, like I say, was happening was people were flying the routes on one leg and not returning the plane, or you know, people weren't bothered about doing the return leg as a different pilot or anything like that. So the problem we ran into with that was that aircraft were getting dotted about all over the place, and people were unable to fly other routes that they wanted to fly because the aircraft was stuck in another location. So that's also another issue. I even did add aircraft to the fleet that don't have a livery in the sim, just to try and alleviate that, and it still didn't really work, unfortunately. So that's another big factor, I suppose. Maybe cut back the flights that no one does and keep the ones that most people do. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, Aviator 4. Yeah, I'm trying to do something like that. I think the thing is with Newsky, though, is because it's such a new platform, there's not that many reporting tools available. So in order for me to try and work out what are the most popular routes and things like that is, I basically just have to look at the data and just try and make note and count manually. So it's a bit of a time-consuming process, which I've not really had too much time to really drill down on yet. But slowly over time, that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, absolutely. Desta Pro, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. It's English only in the chat, I'm afraid. So I'm just going to remove that message. But if you'd like to chat in English, absolutely more than happy to have you. Tobias says, I'm thinking about getting East Midlands for Microsoft Flight Simulator, but it's not a location where I fly. Do I think it's still worth it? Tobias, I mean, it is a masterpiece of an airport. It is one of the best airports I've ever seen for the sim. So based on that alone, I would say probably yes, but at the same time, what I always say to people is I try to say, you know, if you don't fly to a location often, or if you know that you're not going to fly there often, then it's not really worth it, is it, really? Because you're spending money on something that you're not going to get a lot of value out of. So yeah, I suppose it's really up to you whether you can, you know, think it's worth it or not. I mean, it is a fantastic scenery. It's really, really good. So I think you'll be really impressed with it and you'll really enjoy it, and maybe it'll encourage you to fly there more often after you see the quality of the scenery. But you know, if you do know that it's not a place that you're that bothered about flying into, then that's obviously, you know, a bigger factor, I would say. And I mean, the thing is with East Midlands as an airport is it's quite the area around it is quite boring. You know, it doesn't have a stunning approach. It doesn't have a unique approach. There's nothing really about the approach or the departures from that airport that are particularly unique. So from that respect, it's quite boring. But the airport itself, in terms of routes that it serves and the type of aviation that, you know, originates from there, it is quite interesting because you have quite a big mix of cargo and passenger. So you do have a lot of options there. You know, you've got like all the cargo airlines. You know, there's various different airlines that fly the 738 freighter, or, you know, other freighters from the 737 family, which is good for, you know, this sim. You've got a lot of airlines that also fly A320s and 737s out of there for passengers, which is really good for the sim. And then you've obviously got, you know, cargo airlines that fly in, you know, like 777s, which is obviously something that's going to come soon with PMDG. And then you've got the A300 that flies in there as well with the European Air Transport, DHL. So, you know, when the A300 comes out from Mini Builds as well, that could be quite cool. But, yeah. Obviously, if you know you're not bothered about the location itself, then I suppose that's probably the biggest thing to think about. If that makes sense. Real airline goes not too well, like SAS, almost bankrupt every year. Yeah, I mean, I suppose that is the thing, isn't it, MPS? Oops. Yeah, I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, some real airlines are, you know, their profit margins aren't that great either. Yeah. And to be fair, I think Fuzz Air is probably in that space at the moment. You know, we're not making a big profit at all. But it's better to make, you know, something a little bit rather than constantly being in the minus. Yes, the thing is with Fuzz Air as well, you can't really... Yeah, you can't really take a loan out or anything like that, or invest in, you know, new pilots and things like that. So, yeah, I suppose there's a bit of a balancing act. But like I say, I think the primary motivator for me for reducing the scheduled routes is because of the aircraft getting stuck all over the place, and the people didn't really seem that bothered about flying the scheduled routes as a result. So Yeah, I think that's the main factor really. What do I use for the fuzz pad? So the fuzz pad, Mike, it's just an overlay, right? But what I'm using on there generally is SimToolkitPro, Navigraph, and you'll see me use VATSIM on there quite often as well. They're the main things that I have on my second monitor when I'm flying, and of course vPilot as well. Copper says we've had highs of over 110 degrees for weeks. Crikey. I suppose that's in Fahrenheit though, right? But it's Arizona in the summer. Is that normal? I don't know what Arizona's normally like in the summer. A lot of cargo flights from CGN and others to East Midlands. Yeah, there is indeed, yeah. Many cargo flights. EGHQ is a tough one. I won't fly there a lot, but he's a dev I like to support at the same time. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, if you want to support the dev, then yeah, I mean, that's obviously another reason as well, isn't it? Oh, I was chatting to Pyrig Dev as well, by the way, the other day, chats, and we were talking in the last stream about what they're going to do next. Now, this is public knowledge. I am allowed to say this. So we were chatting, and he was basically saying the next one that he's going to do is he's actually going to do Edinburgh V2. So obviously we've already got a fantastic Edinburgh for the sim, but he's going to overhaul it and make it really, really nice. He said to me, these were the words he said, that it's going to be better than East Midlands, and I was like, how are you going to do that? So yeah, apparently Edinburgh V2 is the next one he's going to do, and it's going to be, yeah, I don't know how he's going to do it better than East Midlands, but we'll have to see. It should be very, very interesting to see what we've got coming for Edinburgh V2 there. Welshie, welcome to the chat. Good evening. I hope you're doing well. Freeware EGHQ is better than default. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Definitely better than the default, I would imagine, but yeah, the payware is just on a completely another level. There's pretty much most paywares out there don't even compare to that in terms of detail. Pyrig ended his partnership with Orbex. They did indeed, yeah, they did indeed. Yeah, I was quite surprised by that, but I did suspect that something like that was going to happen when they released on Contrail. Yeah, I wonder what Orbex has done to sour that relationship. Jose, welcome to the chat from Peru. Glad to have you. Hope you're doing well. Come fly with us over the Andes jungle and beautiful coast. Yeah, I mean, I'm long overdue to do a flight in South America and Peru, in fact. Yeah, long overdue, Jose. So thank you very much for the nudge there. I'll have to try and get something done in the next few weeks. Right, hang on 1 second, chat. Just got to take a quick phone call here. Alrighty. Sorry about that, chat. Alrighty. Liana, welcome back. Freeware is extremely poor compared to the payware. Yeah, well, I can imagine, yeah. I can imagine there's not much that really compares to this payware, to be honest with you. So good. Abba says, you're making me want to fly now and make you some good money. Go for it. Go for it, my friends. You're more than welcome. Copper says normal temperatures but record setting for the number of days. Oh, I see. Right. Oh, crikey. So everywhere is getting abnormal temperatures at the moment by the sound of things. 42 degrees C here, says Toto Camp. Whereabouts are you, Toto Camp? Bobby, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. You should do leads so Orbex is not up to standard anymore. Yeah, I fully agree with that, Bobby. I fully agree. I have hinted to him a couple of times to do leads, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the Leeds Bradford is super old now, isn't it, for this sim? Super old, unfortunately. Leeds my local airport, so I would love to see them do. I would love to see Pyreek do Leeds. I would love to see that, but we'll see. I don't know what he's going to do after Edinburgh V2. I'll have to see. Gatwick freeware is better than the origami. Yeah, the Gatwick freeware is very good, isn't it? I mean, personally, I prefer the origami one just because of the coloration on it and everything. Tends to look a bit better, but the origami one again is quite an outdated scenery now. Yeah, quite an old one. That. So yeah, the freeware Gatwick extremely good. Yeah, that guy's put a lot of time into it. Maybe they want more profits than what Orbex was offering. Potentially, yeah, MPS. I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Freeware really drops your FPS. Yeah, well, I've not used it for a very long time, but yeah, I do remember it being quite heavy on the frames, freeware. Yeah, definitely. Roy said, I also had the chat with Pyreeg about the technical side of things, which 3D tools he used and regarding performance-wise. He said he followed the Microsoft Flight Sim SDK manuals, which apparently a lot of developers don't use. Oh, right. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Well, the thing is with Microsoft Flight Sim engine is that it is a very advanced engine, isn't it? You know, it can handle so much more than I think what a lot of the more legacy, let's say, the more sort of old school developers might be used to. And obviously they've got a certain way they've done things for years and years and years, and you know, for years and years and years, not that much has changed, to my knowledge, at least in the flight sim world, in terms of, you know, graphical engines, and obviously the engine for this sim is a lot more advanced in terms of you know, the kind of rendering options and possibilities that it offers. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me that if he just follows the SDK, which is obviously going to help developers get the most out of the engine, that he's able to achieve the results that he's getting. So yeah, love to see it. Very nice. Toto Camp, you're in Monza, in Italy. Oh, very good, very good. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Nice. Mike says Leeds Bradford Payware has very up and down taxiway. Is that real? No, it doesn't. No. The runway's got a big profile to it, hasn't it, Bobby? But The taxiways, no, they. I think I know what you mean. Actually, there's a bit of a lump, isn't there, when you come off on? I think is it Alpha? Yeah, there's a bit of a dip, isn't there? Yeah, I don't think that should be there, to be honest. I mean, I've never really been on the taxiways on foot, but I've definitely, obviously, been on them in an aircraft many times. And I don't seem to recall there being, you know, a bit of a dip as you enter onto the runway. MPS visited Milano about 6 years ago in July. It was hot, 40 degrees Celsius on the day and 30 at night. Crikey, that is very warm. Yeah, that's like... I mean, I went to Malaysia once. It was those kind of temperatures in Malaysia during summer. So that's wild. Yeah, very hot. Temperatures like that at night is almost, if you don't have air conditioning, it's almost too much. Yeah, I think, in my opinion, it's very hard to sleep in those temperatures. To be honest, I struggle to sleep even at the moment in the UK in summer. I get too hot. Toto's just downloaded the Fuzzair PMDG 737. Great livery. Glad you like it. Yeah, good stuff, Toto. You have to check out the freighter as well. I very much enjoy the freighter version as well. The Fuzzair cargo livery. Dip on the west of the airfield. Yeah, I think there might be a dip as well from the GA side. Yeah, maybe if I remember correctly. Roy says maybe Nvidia coming to the rescue. They announced a new technology called RTX 10, which is a compression technology. The goal is to reduce the stuttering lock. Oh, very good. Yeah, that sounds good, Roy. Hopefully they won't make it proprietary to their newer cards. It's getting a bit ridiculous, isn't it, really? They're introducing all these new technologies and it's just like you've got to buy new hardware every single freaking year. So unfortunately it looks like we've got no ATC online for London Centre either at the moment, unfortunately. So it might be a bit quiet coming in regarding ATC. Which reminds me, we're well established in the cruise here, so coming up to the equitime point, let's have a quick look at our arrival information because we've not set anything there yet. We'll just plug some stuff in, and we'll do the briefing a bit later. We're coming to EGHQ. Winds are 290, so we'll be landing on runway 30. We can take the ILS 30. So we'll do that. Now, you would normally come onto vectors for this approach, I think, but it's almost a straight line from Skesso to the final leg, so I might just delete that discontinuity there and just let it fly it in LNAV. Let's have a quick look at the charts though, real quick, to see if there is any arrival procedure. Not really. I mean, there is an arrival chart, but Yeah, let's at least put some of the arrival in here, because otherwise it's just going to be a case of being on a heading for a very long time, which is probably not too realistic, is it? So what we'll do is we'll just put in BHD here, which is the Berryhead VOR. And then we can also put the Newquay NDB in as well. Needs thrust reduction altitude. Okay, that's fine. And it's wiped our... Oh, what's happened here?
Traffic.
Oh, God. Got a TCAS blue. Okay, it's cleared now. There we are. Can we see what it is? Not quite, no. Oh, there they are. Looks like... Could be a 737. Lovely stuff. Very nice. Right. What's happened here? Something's happened. Something's gone wrong here in the coding. I've mucked it up somehow. It thinks BHD is now our destination. Although it does say destination here, but as you can see, it's blanked it all out. And then we've got Newquay as the missed approach. Let's just clear that out. Clear that out as well. Something's gone really wrong here. That is rather strange. I've never had that happen before. MCD is McDude, yeah. It won't let us put an arrival in. Okay, so we'll just copy the active here. So we'll just work on this in the secondary. Is it going to work in the secondary? No, it's not. Okay, so let's come to secondary init, and we'll just go LSZH, and we'll just put it in again, EGHQ. Right. Okay, so let's just rebuild our flight plan from where we are. So from Tabov, we'll start at Pig Up. So we'll go Pig Up. That's fine. So from Pig Up, well, it's just going to be to Scaso via Uniform November 4901. Oh no, sorry. We're going to Upalo. Upalo. And then 862 to Scaso. Then from Scaso, we'll put in Berryhead. And then we'll put in Newquay. And then we can choose an arrival. ILS30 with no start. So that's fine. Starting at Pig Up, which we're now inbound to. So let's just pull the heading there. And then we'll go activate secondary. Then we'll go direct to Pig Up. And then we're back in nav. And we are en route. Lovely. All as intended. That's fine. Good. Okie dokie. And then we've got a disco there before the arrival. That's perfect. Fantastic. Alrighty. So that's fine. And then we'll come into here and we'll just go EGHQ. Airport elevation is 390 feet. So we're coming down from 360. So we'll do 36 times 3. 108. Oops. 118. And we've got a bit of a headwind. So 121. Is our top of descent. And we'll go EGHQ. Put a 10 mile. Oops. I wish you could copy stuff in the Airbus MCDU. EGHQ 30. I'll put a 30 mile. Good. Right. So that gives us our 10,000 feet, 3,000 feet rings. Sorry. Top of descent, 10,000 feet, 3,000 feet. Good. Right. So that's all in there. Now we've got an idea of when we need to start our descent, which is going to be in about 140 miles. Okay, good. So come back to the chat, shall we? When it's in the USA, it's about 2,000. It was 48 to 48 degrees at Iowa State, Cedar Rapids. Crikey, also very warm. Crikey, FPS. Mike says, loving Zagreb Airport. I downloaded from Contrail. Remember flying there in the 80s on holiday when it was still Yugoslavia. Wow. When it was company estate. First time I saw armed soldiers all around the airport. Crikey, I bet that was an interesting experience. Yeah, I bet the terminal building looked quite a lot different back then as well, Mike, I bet. Malaysia is very humid, so it makes it 10 times worse. Yep, definitely is very humid in Malaysia, Bobby. Yep, indeed. Especially in games with large worlds like Microsoft Flight Simulator, it has lots of advantages. Yeah, good. Yeah, well, look forward to seeing more about that, Roy. Oh, they're going to introduce it for the 30 series as well. Oh, I'd love to see it. Very nice. Very, very nice. Well, let's hope they hold out on that and it all comes to fruition. I'll have to look into that. RTX IO. I'll look into that. Let's see how people can cope with 30 degrees plus. I go abroad at Christmas, usually in Middle East. Yeah, 30 degrees plus is very hot, isn't it? But I suppose you get used to it, don't you? If you live in that climate, you get used to it and your body adapts. But us from here from the UK, 30 degrees is like stepping into an oven. Works with AMD and ARC by Intel cards as well. Interesting. Oh, very good. Well, that sounds quite promising. Mike had an AMD graphics card once, but the driver nightmares put me off. That was around 2010. Yeah, I think I was in the same boat with you there, Mike, as well. Yeah, before I got my 2070, it probably wasn't 2010. It was probably a bit later than that, but what did I get? I can't remember what card it was I got at the time, but it was an AMD graphics card, and yeah, I had so many issues with it, man. My computer just kept randomly shutting down on its own, and I did so much research, and games were crashing and all sorts. And I was led to believe before I bought it, I did look into it because I was aware of the driver issues, and people said they mostly had been sorted, but I still had all of these issues. I even got a new power supply and all sorts of stuff, and nothing fixed it. And it was a new build at the time, so it was a fresh install of Windows, etc. And I just kept having so many issues with the AMD card. So I sold it in the end and got an Nvidia 2070 Super at the time, and poof, issues gone. So yeah, I don't, not that keen on buying an AMD card again, to be honest. UAE and Egypt very good to go into winter, not too cold, not too hot. Yeah, I've heard that as well, Aviator 4. I've actually been to Egypt in the summer. That was crazy hot. Back when Thomas Cook Airlines was still a thing. I flew there with Thomas Cook. Prefer New Zealand, which is below 0 at the moment. Yeah, it's winter down there, isn't it? Yeah. I would love to go to New Zealand any time of year, to be honest with you. New Zealand looks amazing. -134 into Stansted. Very nicely done there, George. Congratulations, my friends. The question is, though, did you get centerline and touchdown zone as well? That is the question. Traffic just passed us a British Airways A320 heading to Palermo. Oh, very good. Very good. Love to see it. British Airways. Very nice. Speaking of British Airways, chat, I don't know if many of you guys are aware of this or not, but I know we've spoke on the channel many times before about me wanting to get into pilot training and become an airline pilot. Now, British Airways have actually announced they're going to be restarting their cadet program, which is what I was looking for, which, you know, ever since I started looking at pilot training, the cost has always been the big thing for me, but and I've been keeping my eyes peeled for these, you know, cadet programs, and British Airways are restarting theirs. So, I mean, I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, but it is something that I'm thinking of doing. I'm very excited about it, to be honest with you. Very, very excited. Froster, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Leeds, massive indeed. Yeah, we've got a few people from Leeds in here today by the looks of things. Love to see it. Very, very nice. We've got 2 Bobbies from Leeds and a Froster. Very good. Terminal building looked very much like a DHSS building back then. Oh, crikey, yeah, I bet it did. I bet it did with the Soviet era architecture. B1, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Going to Corfu on Thursday. Can't wait to see what it's like. Very nice, my friend. Yeah, I bet it's very warm there as well. Yeah, very warm indeed. That's probably... that area of Europe is in the heat wave area, isn't it, as well? So yeah, I bet that's going to be toasty. fire is on the grasslands high up in the northeast of the islands. Crikey, yeah. I did not know there was some fires going on there at the moment. Wildfires in Corfu. Yeah. Wow. Well, hopefully it doesn't affect your flight as well. Mike had the same experience as well with the AMD. Yeah, crikey. Yeah, really put me off that. It was terrible. It was just super frustrating because I knew what I was doing and I thought I did all the things to try and resolve the issue. I did so much reading about it because I was perfectly fine with the performance of the graphics card. It was actually good and really, really, it was good performance. And for the money, they're cheaper than the equivalent Nvidia at the time. And I was happy with the performance when it did work, but it obviously just kept, leading to these scenarios where the computer was just shutting down randomly. So it was just something I couldn't. It's not something you can really live with, is it, when your computer's shutting down randomly? You've got a 2070 Super. Shay, welcome to the chat, but you'll be updating to a 7900 XT. Right. Good. Well, to be honest, you've just jogged my memory. That's why I just paused there for a second. I think the graphics card that I had was it a 5600 XT, I think? Searching my emails now real quick. Yeah, I can't quite remember the notations of how they did their graphics card back in the day, but yeah, it might have been a 5600 XT or something. I can't quite remember, but it was definitely one with the 5 at the start and the XT at the end. Fortunately, these issues are not happening with the AMD CPUs. Yeah, exactly, Roy. Yeah. Fortunately, their CPUs are absolutely on the money, aren't they? Really, really good. Where did I go in Egypt? I went last Christmas to Sharm el-Sheikh. Best holiday I ever had. Yeah, I went to Sharm el-Sheikh as well. Yeah, Sharm el-Sheikh. It was just one of the many all-inclusive places down there. Yeah, Sharm el-Sheikh, and then we took a couple of flights over to Cairo on a couple of occasions to go see various different things, like the museum, the pyramids there. Oh, crikey! Weather update. Where else did we go? We took another plane as well somewhere else in Egypt. I can't remember where it is in Egypt, but it's where the Valley of the Kings is located. But yeah, it was pretty good, pretty interesting to see all of the ancient Egyptian monuments and all the tombs, and the museum was pretty good as well. Yeah, good. I'm glad I did it with a tour guide though, because I think Cairo looks like a very, very tough city to navigate as a tourist. I should do it, apply for the program. Yes, I think I'm gonna do, Roy. I think British Avgeek's doing it as well. That would be so cool. Imagine if both me and Luke got onto the British Airways program. That would be crazy. I used to see the AMD I had was good if you like looking at blue screens. Indeed, yeah. Dear, oh dear. Yeah, hopefully, Shay, there's no issues. Hopefully. I mean, I assume it's been many years since that happened to me, so you would have thought they would be on top of the drivers now. Stayed in the Rixos Hotel. To be honest, I can't remember what the hotel was that I stayed in. Maybe I can just quickly look. Oh, that's one thing we did as well that was really good in Egypt. We went scuba diving. That was super, super cool. Ever since I've done that, I would love to go scuba diving again. Yeah, I'm not sure what hotel it was, actually. I can't quite find it. Can't see any reference to it. It was one of my ex-partners that I went with, and she basically did all the booking. So I don't have the confirmation emails and whatnot to refer back to. Roy says, I tried it with Sabina Flight School, but there was extra attention regarding my age. Didn't make it as expected. The Archon's very close to my dream. Fair enough. Yeah, well, I'm sorry to hear that, Roy. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, well, at least we've got a fantastic flight simulator that you can use to live that dream, I suppose. Mr. Rexy, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Do you subscribe to me? I don't know. Do you subscribe to me? Probably easier for you to tell me if you do or not. But welcome in. Welcome in. Right, I suppose we probably better get ready for the descent here. As you can see, the top of the descent is like way down here, but because we're most likely not going to be flying all the way into the airport and then back out, we're going to plan for, you know, a more direct arrival into Newquay. So we'll actually start descending when we come up to this ring here that I've input, which is in about 40 miles. So let's go ahead and do the arrival briefing real quick. So let's have a look at the chart then. So I've actually put this on overlaid onto our route here. We're arriving into Newquay, UK. This is the 10-2 chart. Airport elevation 390 feet. Now, I overlaid this because it's not really a star as such, but I've kind of worked it into our route. So having a look at the chart here, to transition level, we don't actually know what that is. Well, because there's no SID chart to actually refer to here, and there's no ATC online, so I'm not actually sure what the transition level would be. The transition level usually around London area is usually around 6,000, 7,000 feet. But it might be a bit lower because this is quite far out of the London area, so let's just call it 6,000 for the arrival into here. And there's some instructions regarding ATC as well here, which is not really applicable to us. So for the arrival, we're going to fly from Scaso towards Berryhead here. And then once coming into Berryhead, we're then going to turn 273 radial and then fly towards the Newquay NDB. We're going to be landing on runway 30, which is this way. So at some point down this leg, we'll take a vector off to the left to intercept the final approach course. And we're going to be flying the ILS DME, NDB ILS DME for runway 30. This is the 11-2. The localizer is India November Whiskey Quebec on 110.5. The final approach course of 302 degrees. And the final approach fixed at 2,500 feet at 6.5 miles. The runway elevation 5 feet lower than the airport itself, 385 feet. And then the MSA highest in the east at 3,000 feet. Like I say, we're going to be on a vector to intercept the final approach course like this. So we're not going to be following this DME arc or anything like that. We'll just basically put ourselves on a vector for the final. The platform altitude 2,500 feet in line with the final approach fix, and the descent angle for the ILS is 3 degrees. Minimum 585 feet, and we've got a PAPI to the left of the runway also. If we need to go around, it's climbing to 2,500, initially straight ahead to 3 miles from the ILS DME, and then off 1,500 feet, whichever is later, and then turn right back in towards the Newquay NDB to 2,500 feet, or as directed. So if we do need to go around, because there's no ATC online, it'll probably be initially straight ahead to 3 miles, and then just vectors around to the right for another approach. Once arriving at the airport, we're going to come in on 30 here. We'll try and vacate here at Charlie if we can, but probably most likely won't be able to, so we might vacate then at Alpha, and we'll just taxi around to the main commercial apron here, and we'll park in at one of these stands. We'll park in at stand 21, let's say. I think that's what the real aircraft use for the real flight, 21, so that's what we'll use. And we do have a GSX profile as well, which is quite nice for this freeware scenery. Looking at the weather, currently, we've got winds from 290 degrees at 9 knots, so a decent bit of wind, not too much though, from the northwest, varying between 260 and 320. Visibility and cloud cover is absolutely fine, and the QNH is 1014 with a temperature of 17 degrees. So weather looking pretty nice for the arrival. Only main threat really to be aware of here is the well, not much really, actually. I was going to say the runway length, but the runway is actually quite long here, isn't it? I thought it was a bit shorter than that, but it's fairly decent length. PAPI's 3 degrees. So yeah, nothing really too crazy to worry about, really. It should be quite straightforward. We've got a possibility of reduced terrain-induced turbulence and wind shear effects landing on runway 12 and 30. So that's probably the biggest threat, I suppose, for the arrival there. Just got to be careful of the profile, I think. Yeah, so that does it. Let's just come back here and make sure we've got everything plugged in correctly. So we've got the ILS in correctly there. That's all good. With 301 inbound course and 3 degrees down. That's all fine. And then the performance page, we'll come in here and just fill that out here using the METAR. at 9 knots is the wind. Transition level, it's actually put 30 in there. We said we would go for 60, so I guess this is taking it from somewhere that I don't know where that data is. So I imagine that's probably more accurate. So, but we will bump it up. We'll bump it up to 4.5. That seems sensible. And then the temperature is 17 degrees. QNH 1014. And the minima 585. We'll go for a flaps full landing. And if we need to go around, it's going to be NADP2. Which I'll just double check, but fairly certain. No info. Okay, we'll assume NADP2. So that's fine. Good. Right, and then we'll go EGHQ here. I'll put that in there. 126 miles to go, so we do need to start our descent momentarily. Looks like we've got a couple of aircraft right next to us here, actually. There's one. That contrail, that is a beast. Got the islands of... Oh, what was that? What was that sound? Oh, they flew across us. They flew above. There they are. Got the islands of Jersey and Guernsey below us. Right, let's start that descent. Thrust idle open descent. And we'll do our landing performance. Runway 30, it's dry. I feel like that's more recent meta. $16.50. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong airport here. $16.50. Wait, was that? Yeah, that's different to what we just put in. I think maybe I put in the wrong info there. 300.07, 17 degrees. QNH 1014. Right, good. Okay, so that's fine. We'll apply that. Landing weight is going to be 61.7. Low water brake will do it. We'll use low water brake as well because we can vacate right at the end of the runway. And auto thrust off. Good. Off we go. Let's have a look on VATSIM. Do we have any arrivals due in here? I think probably not. Oh, we do actually have two. We've got Ryanair UK and Tomjet arriving before us. They'll get in well before us, though. And we're the last arrival for today. Mr. Rexy, thank you very much for subscribing, as well as Giovanni. Thank you very much, and welcome to the channel. Liana says, I had a Vega 64. It caused random crashes, even idle on desktop. Never worked out if it was the card, the drivers, or just a combination of the system before I sold it on. Fair enough. Yeah, some things, I mean, you know, some things aren't really worth putting all the time into, are they? But, yeah. Shame. Brendan, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Would I want to wind up in an A320 for BA? I would absolutely love to wind up in an A320 for BA. I would absolutely love that, yeah. That being said, I wouldn't turn my nose up at an A350 either, or, you know, I mean, even a 787 or a 777, absolutely fine with me. But I would love to wind up in an A320. That would be sweet. Seems I'll be flying over the disgusting city of Plymouth. I've never been to Plymouth. Don't know what it's like. But let me see. Are we flying over Plymouth? Yes, we pretty much will. We'll be going via Torquay, which is where the Berryhead VOR is, and then turning inbound and over Plymouth. Yeah, Plymouth will be on our left. We might vector over it, but we might just vector a little bit after it. Right, let's see how we're doing on altitude. We're at 90 miles in a straight line. So 90, 180, 270. So we're actually a bit low here on the profile. So we don't need to come down this quickly. Let's just reduce our rate of descent. Roy says the pilots who crashed today during the firefighting were very young. Captain 36, co-pilot 27. Crikey, God. That is sad. Debris from the right wing floater struck the aileron after hitting the tree. God, yeah, that doesn't sound good. Dear oh dear. Sad to hear. What version of Newquay did I download? The military one or the normal? I downloaded the superspud version. I could only see one version. I didn't realize there was two. But it was a superspud version that I downloaded. Am I going to butter? We'll have to see, Mr. Rexy. We'll have to see. It's the first time I'm flying in this aircraft for well over a week now. So, hopefully. We'll see. I mean, what we always try and do on this channel, though, is we try and aim for, you know, a good landing in terms of centerline touchdown zone. Butter is just a tertiary benefit, which is how they would do it in the real world. So we'll try and butter if we can without sacrificing the other two aspects. So 7.5, 150, 225. Okay, so it's still a little bit low on the profile. We'll just keep coming down at 1,000 feet per minute for now. Liana says, have you seen the updates, the cloud updates in X-Play in 12.06 beta 1? Much improved V1 simulations was loving his flight in a TOLIS. Very nice. No, I haven't. I haven't got X-Play in 12 personally, so no, I haven't seen any of those. Yeah, I feel like the more and more I hear about it though, is the more and more it's improving. So I'm quite tempted to have a look into that at some point in the near future. Try look out for Air Force One and some other interesting aircraft when we land. Yeah, I'll definitely look out for it. Oh, show. Landing late won't be a problem. It's very long. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, it is a long runway, isn't it? But even still, you know, we gotta. I try and fly all my flights now like I'm on Newsky. You know, Newsky will penalize you if you do a long landing. And even though we're not on Newsky today, because we're doing a real world flight, if I was on Newsky, I wouldn't want to get penalized. So that's what I try and do now. It's good practice. Dad says, quick one on GSX. Once purchased, how much config is needed to use it for a flight? I wouldn't say too much at all, really, Daz. I mean, I would recommend going through the settings and just making sure it's set up to your liking. Have a quick scan through the manual and have a look at, you know, the various different bits. But yeah, not too much really. I mean, if you want to have the proper, you know, some good you know, locations of the various vehicles and passengers walking out to the aircraft and things like that from the terminal, then I would recommend going on flightsim.to and downloading GSX profiles for the airports that you use, which is quite straightforward and simple to do. But I wouldn't say there's a huge amount of config required. Clouds aren't quite there yet. Some weird cloud formations still happening, but no longer. Cotton balls all over. Good. Glad to hear, Liana. Glad to hear. Yeah, I may have to take a look at that at some point in the near future. Right. So we're getting there regarding the profile. Let's go to thrust idle open descents. Come down to 5,000. Thrust idle open descent, alt blue. Flight level 50 blue. So here we come into the Berryhead VOR, which is just located on the coast here. This is Newquay, I believe. Then we've got Plymouth somewhere down that way. Can't quite see it just yet. Some nice cliffs down here as well. Very nice. Turn the music down for the arrival. When flying at higher levels, the clouds look like a straight wall. Oh, crikey. Interesting. Just landed at Marrakesh. Got a penalty, 1.72 hard landing. AKA Ryanair. Very nicely done there, MPS. Oopsie daisies. Like the lighting better in X-Plane. Interesting, Roy. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, X-Plane's definitely got some things going right for it, hasn't it? One thing I do find a bit weird about X-Plane, though, is I know you obviously have the issue in Microsoft Flight Simulator as well, where the cockpit looks quite dark. But in X-Plane, I find, from what I've seen anyway, some of the flight decks just look so incredibly dark. Right, local altimeter is 1014. Slow that rate of descent down. Still getting a very rapid rate of descent in open descent, so let's come back a bit. We're still a little bit low on profile. Quite a nice approach coming into here, isn't it? Look at this line across the... I assume that's a satellite imagery thing. Oh, someone's disappearing. But yeah, it's a nice approach into Newquay. Everyone was saying some of the cloud formations in X-Plane aren't unrealistic at all. Good. Good. Glad to hear. MPS got a 9,500 penalty fee, but still earned 10,153. Crikey, mate. That's good going. Nicely done there. Right, flight level 100. Get the lights on. Can't believe this flight's been an hour and 40 already. It doesn't feel like an hour and 40. Crikey. Well, guys, if you've enjoyed the flight so far, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. It does really help out the channel when you do that. You can see we've got 37 people here, but only 24 likes, so we can definitely get some more. Righto. So, yeah, definitely still a little bit low on the profile here. You can see this ring here. That's indicating where we should be at about 10,000 feet, and you can see we're a bit below that. So we're just going to do a shallow descent from here. This Plymouth right here. Hyundai ATZ would come in handy for this flight. No VATSIM ATZ at all. Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. I was kind of hoping there would be someone who would come online for London Control at some point, but alas. Final approach, going over some quarries. Yes, I seem to remember that from last time I flew in here. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's nice. Nice approach, this. Try to look for the Eden project. Oof, I will try. Oh, baby, World Update 14's just come out. Crikey. I didn't realize that was today. Awesome. Whereabouts is that for? I forget. Is it for like Eastern Europe? That area. That's really interesting, actually. I'm intrigued to see what airports they've done. Let's have a quick look on the forums here whilst we're descending in. Oh, they've not made a post about it yet, have they, on their forums? Alright, maybe we check it once we've landed then. Alrighty, let's keep coming down. 2,500 feet we'll dial in. And we'll do the approach checklist. So, approach checklist. Bar F is set to 1014. Seatbelt signs are on. Minimum is 585 feet. Auto brake is low. Engine mode selector normal. Approach checklist complete. Pull the heading here, and we'll just give ourselves a heading towards the airfields. We'll go 260. And we'll come in, we'll go center fix 30121 is not correct. Go 12, well, it's not far off, is it? 122. Insert that, pull the heading. I've got our extended center line. Beautiful. Lots of undulating hills around here, isn't there? Very nice. Right, 20 miles out. It's the ILS is identified now. So yeah, definitely a bit high here. So we'll come back on the vertical speed even more, just to try and keep that continuous descent going. Central Eastern Europe, that's it, yeah. Oh, it's on Discord. Okay, I'll look on Discord. Oh, there's not a list of what they've added though, is there? Oh, okay. They've added Castella, so Split Airport. I've already got that one. An airport in Slovenia. I don't know the name of that one. And one in Slovakia as well. Poprad Tatry. Well, they're landing challenges actually. So, but I would assume they're now new airports. Karlovy Vary Airport in Czechia, Poprad Tatry Airport in Slovakia, Pex Pagani Airport in Hungary, Zagorj Obsavi Airport in Slovenia. Sorry for my pronunciation, guys. Let's just arm approach here as well. Oh, so they haven't added Split as an airport. Okay, never mind. Ignore me. And Prijidor UG Airport in Bosnia. It's so bad pronunciation. I do apologize. But those are the airports. Okay. Interesting. I've never heard of any of those. So I'm not sure whether they're suitable for airliner operations. But nevertheless, let's focus up here. So we've got Glide Slope Blue, Localizer Blue. Cat 3 single. Loke start. Lovely stuff. Right. Where will the Eden project be? Will it be on the left or the right, Aviator? Right, let's configure. We'll go flaps 1, speed checked. Flaps 1. Arm the spoilers. It's very bumpy here. Look at that quarry lake there, all turquoise blue. Started recording, you'll be pleased to know. It's on the right. Okay. Flaps 2, speed checked. Flaps 2. Newquay traffic, Edelweiss 306 established, ILS 30, 7 miles to go. Newquay traffic. Right, glide slope start. We'll go gear down. Okie dokie, speed's come back very nicely there. Perhaps didn't need to slow down that much, but nevertheless, we'll go to flaps 3. Speed is checked. Flaps 3. Not seeing the Eden project. Although I may be looking in the wrong place. Right, we'll go flaps full. Speed check. Flaps full. Landing checklist. ECAM memo landing no blue. Go around altitude 3,000 feet is set. Alright. Let's land this sucker then, shall we, chat? What's about disconnected? 2 whites, 2 reds. Tell you what I'm going to do, chat, though, real quick, is I'm actually going to come up here and turn off this glide slope warning, because sometimes that inhibits the GPWS, doesn't it? So let's just turn that off. 1,000 feet is checked. We're stabilized. Got a little bit of wind from the right here, actually. Not much, though, but it's varying a lot. Get the flight directors off. And the bird on. Go to manual thrust.
500.
Power defeat is checked.
Hundred above.
So high according to the Pappies, but low according to the glide slope.
100.
Too low. Terrain.
Disregard.
40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
Spoilers. Decel. Reverse green. Manual braking. Reverse is stowed. Welcome to Newquay, chat. Welcome to Newquay. Landing rate predictions in the chat. Let's see them. Oh, vacate right. Alrighty. Landing lights off. Strobe lights off. Fire up the APU. Lovely stuff. Predictive wind shear can come off, as well as the weather radar, TCAS, and the transponder. This is a lovely freeware scenery, chat, I have to say. Very, very nice. This is Newquay by Superspud on flightsim.to. Right, flaps retracted, spoilers disarmed. I think that Ryanair might be in my stand that I wanted, so we'll have to go for a different one. We wanted 21, didn't we? Oh, the park is so messed up here, man. Go for stand 20. Show me this spot. Oh no, that is where the Ryanair is. Okay. Go for stand 22 then. Actually, no, we might have to go for 21 now. Oh no, there we go. Fine. Here it is. It's our stand. There's no markings on the ground to tell us what's what, but that's fine. We'll get the nose lights off. Don't think we've got a marshaller, actually. Oh, we do actually. You've got to make a little right turn as you come in. Oh god, this is going to be rough. I feel like this stand's not for an A320. No, surely not. Let's just... Oh, that Ryanair's pushing now. We can't really swing over. Okay, never mind. We'll just park straight in here. We'll just park straight in. We'll just disregard. I'll marshal myself. We'll stop there. That's fine. APU is available. Both the edges can come off now. They can like come off. Get the fuel pumps off as well. We'll get the ground crew to connect the external power and the chocks. There it is. APU master can come off. And the parking checklist, parking brake is set. Engines are off, wing lights are off, fuel pumps are off. Parking checklist complete. Oh, what's happened here? I think it's because we're not parked correctly. Okay. We'll just do a little, we'll just pretend we're not, we'll just look down like this. We'll just go like this. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Request deboarding. I'm not sure who you would choose here. Let's go for IAG. So there we go. Parking checklist is complete. I bet this guy's so confused. Lovely stuff. Right. Welcome to Newquay chat. That was a lovely flight. Lovely approach coming in as well, I have to say. Alrighty. Welcome indeed. Welcome indeed. So, we've got some predictions, haven't we, for the landing rates? Shall we have a look at the landing reports? Shall we have a look at the landing reports? Oh, I would have gone past it. Okay, aviator, never mind. I was just not looking hard enough, wasn't I? Dear me. Right, landing rate is 156 feet per minute. And then looking at a little bit closer, 1.19 G. So pretty good. Little bit, maybe a little bit higher on the G-force side of things than what you would expect for 156, but that's fine. We actually landed bang on the center line and actually just before the aiming point, so very, very nicely placed there on the runway. If we, we could have probably flared a little bit more there. I actually thought because I was focusing so much on the flare, I actually thought we'd gone way further past that, to be honest with you. Hence why I just put it down. So I could have flared a little bit more even and just maybe just level, reduce that G-force a tiny bit more. But hey ho, I'll take it. Pretty good. MPS was extremely close with his G-force guess there. So MPS takes a G-force guess. The only one guessing G-force. But otherwise, we got Daz with 194. Nicely done there, my friends. Nicely done. Looked like I was slightly over. Yeah, I did feel like I was. Maybe the scenery is slightly different to the satellite imagery. It's right before the runway. Right, we'll look out for it on the replay, Aviator 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. 04. You'll just guess more than 1G each time. Well, you can't go wrong then, can you? Right. Well, passengers should be deboarding now. Have I missed them all? Oh, it's waiting for my action open the back door. Okay. That's still a bug, I see. Right, we did get a company message as well. Let's just have a look at that real quick. Arrival 1744. So, let's see where we were. Were we on time? We were nearly 20 minutes early, actually. Well, we did depart very early, so that doesn't surprise me. Lovely stuff, chat. Well, welcome to Newquay. We've got a replay to watch momentarily. I was going to wait for the passengers to deboard here, but they're taking the sweet time. There we go. Here we go. Let's see where they go. This has got a GSX profile for at this airport, so I'm intrigued to see where they end up. Oh, they're going down here, aren't they? Why did I switch on the bird instead of leaving on the flight director? Maybe you can explain. Because I was basically not following the flight director anymore. Because the flight director is obviously going to follow the ILS, which was wrong there. So, oh, they're not. They're just disappearing into the building. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, I turned the flight director off because I wasn't following it. If I followed the flight director there, I would have probably ended up very high, I think. Doesn't look like the glide slope's properly aligned. Dirty, welcome to the chat. Also noticed the glide slope not working. The threshold crossing height for that ILS should be 50 feet, 51 feet. So, yeah, there's definitely something wrong there. Righto. Lovely stuff. Okay, well, we're not going to wait for all the passengers to deboard. We'll just do a reset of GSX and we'll go straight to the replay, shall we? So we'll go like this. And we'll just let it power up. We'll disconnect from VATSIM, of course. Lovely stuff. Love the Edelweiss. Right, let's fast forward a bit to the final touchdown. I'm so intrigued to see where we actually touched here. All right, back to normal speeds. Cross the threshold at 30 feet, so a bit low actually. Very confusing indications all around at this airport, unfortunately. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Let's So that explains why we touched a bit early. Oh my days. Oopsie daisies. I accidentally paused the replay then. That's why it went a bit crazy. So we actually touched just after the aiming point in the sim. Just after the aiming point in the sim. So, yeah. Seems like the satellite imagery doesn't match up really with the actual scenery itself. It's on the right before the runway. Let's have a look, see if we can see it. Oops. It's pretty big, right? Should be able to see it from quite far away. Am I blind? And we have to Google map it real quick. Looks like the Eden project's right close to Plymouth, from what I'm looking at here. Before all the quarries and that. Unless it's a different Eden project. Let's have another look at this landing, shall we? Real quick. Pretty nice. I'm not sure why it freezes there every time it touches down, but some airports do that, doesn't it? Right on the centre line as well. You got to love it. Absolutely spot on as far as the scenery is concerned. Absolutely spot on. I'm really impressed that I've managed to do that, actually, considering my the fact I've not flown this for a little while. In the woods before the runway. In these woods. It is modelled in the sim, isn't it? The Eden project as well. I don't see it. Oh, look at this Spitfire. Beautiful. Little bench down there as well. No, I don't see it, Aviator 04. It should be visible from around here, right? Next to the runway. Is this supposed to be what it is? No? I thought the Eden project was like those big domes. I'm so confused, chat. I do apologize if this is frustrating. Oh, the house with the Spitfire. Oh, okay. I thought someone said the Eden project earlier on. Oh, I see. Okay. Got you. Yeah. Very nice. Cute. Nice that these touches have been added to the scenery. Even the detail with the satellite dishes. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, see, I always thought you were referring to the Eden project, which is like, what, down this way somewhere? I don't see that Eden project actually either. I'm sure it's around here somewhere. There it is. This is what I thought you were talking about. Lovely stuff. Right. Beluga says, doing the same flight as you did offline, how did it go? It went very well, yeah, very nicely. Very nice weather in Newquay. Very smooth landing. So, yeah, very good. Eastern Europe update in Microsoft Flight Sim World Update 15 gigabytes. Crikey. Lovely. Right, I'll have to check that out after stream. Tenchi, it is the Phoenix indeed. Welcome to the chat. Right, guys. Well, I'm going to leave it there. That's going to be it from me for today. So we'll play the stream out with this passenger view of the landing. I hope you guys enjoyed that flight. That was really, really nice. Thank you very much for the suggestion, Aviator 04. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Soren, I hope your flight went well. And thank you very much for the super chat earlier on. And Mike for becoming a channel member. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening. I'll see you again on Friday for some more Fenix A320 action where we'll be flying out of Edinburgh into Vagar in the Faroe Islands, which I'm very much looking forward to. So guys, I hope you enjoy your week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Leave a like on your way out if you haven't already. Thank you once again. Enjoy your evening. Bye for now.